How does a mediator help families resolve conflicts? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about mediators. In this video, we're going to talk about why you might need a mediator or some signs that having a mediator could be helpful. And then we're going to talk about what you can do to be a good mediator for other people and some key aspects of really healthy mediation. If in your family people see things completely different and this is habitually getting in the way of the family functioning normally and in a healthy way, you could need somebody to mediate a conversation for you. There are many times where people will have conversations with me or with teaching self-government mentors that I've trained, and they will say, this is what's going on in our marriage. We are not on the same page. So-and-so thinks this, and the other person thinks this. And so you see, we can't be on the same page here. Is it even worth it to maintain this marriage? Now, I always say, well, yes. I mean, you're in this now a long time. We don't just throw it away because we can't get past this one thing. So if there's something you can't get past that seems to resurface again and again, you might need somebody to give you a few suggestions on how you can actually get done with whatever it is that you've been carrying around in the relationship for a long time. So how do you do that if you're trying to help somebody else? So this channel is the Teaching Self-Government channel, and on this channel I talk about skills and principles that you need for good communication and problem solving. One thing that a good mediator knows is that there's probably more than one solution to a problem. Probably a person could just drop the subject in their own head about whatever problem it is, or they could have a conversation with another person and try to explain how they're feeling and that type of a thing, or they could decide to stuff the feelings and pretend it never exists and move on, which probably wouldn't be very healthy, but it is an option that they have. There are many options that a person has, right? We could try to rekindle a relationship and remind ourselves how much we care about each other so that we don't recognize that the problem is so bad, maybe, and we could get some perspective. Maybe we're getting a little bit myopic, a little bit laser focused on one thing, and so we're forgetting the big picture. That's another thing. Maybe somebody needs to go from, detail oriented to big picture on an issue so that they can see the person really for what they are and how much they really care about that person, and they can decide to invest again. Sometimes people have a hard time getting along and solving their problems because they're worn out. They feel like they've tried everything under the sun. They don't have the skills they need, and emotionally they're just drained. If you keep trying and trying with your emotions, you are going to keep wearing yourself out. That is the most difficult way to solve a problem. When a person is mediating for another person, hopefully they're helping them come to their prefrontal cortex. So if a person is helping you mediate a situation, it could be important for them to talk about how people might be feeling, but I hope we don't stop there for too long, because we need to move on to where do we go from here now? Where is the solution to the problem? What skill might we be missing? And have we considered our own behaviors in the matter? So often when I talk to a husband and a wife will tell me, oh, well, he thinks I'm this, this, this. And as soon as somebody says, he thinks I'm this, 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 then I think to myself, well, there's probably some truth to it then. If that's how he really feels, there's got to be something that that person has done or regularly does that they don't think that's what they're communicating, but that is what they're communicating to that other person. And ultimately, that's what disagreements is all about. One person thinks they're sending one message, but it's not being caught by the other person. This person also thinks they're sending a message back, and maybe it's caught, maybe it's the wrong message, or maybe they're also trying to be the best version of themselves they can be, but it's also not being caught. So the people start not appreciating each other. They start thinking of the other person as the villain. At that point, we have to save the relationship and get somebody to see this whole thing from a third person point of view. So when I talk to couples, parents, children, family members, and they're seeking some coaching or mentoring about their problems that they're trying to solve with each other, then I oftentimes say to them, well, do you think what that other person could be feeling is actually true to them? Well, do you ever actually do that thing that they say that you do? And if they're honest, they would have to say yes, especially if they're right in front of that other person, right? And, maybe the answer is, well, kind of, I do this, but the answer then is still yes, I do. We have to bring things into the open and be honest. And a good mediator is able to understand everyone's point of view, not just one. So if you are going to be biased, if there's one person who thinks that they have a favorite in the relationship, so if they're all for mom, but they're not for dad, then they're probably not going to be a good mediator. They need to be a person who understands what dads offer to the family and husbands offer to a relationship, and what wives and mothers often offer to families and relationships, and what their unique struggles often are, and then that they listen to those struggles too, and then they find even more information and really seek to understand. A bad mediator is the one who just talks all the time. A good mediator listens, asks questions, listens again, asks questions, asks questions, asks questions, and then proposes some solutions. And it's not always going to be one solution, but usually a person is being approached to be a mediator because somebody sees that they have a solution that they want. So in that case, they might be coming to the person for mediation because they want to learn how to do their way, their solution. Sometimes when people come to talk to me about family issues, there's one person who really wants to have the conversation, and I can tell right at the beginning they're wanting me to convince the other person to change their way with their parenting or to fix the family problems. But I don't coerce other people. Instead, I just seek to understand, even though I can appreciate what the other person is going through and why they would want self-government skills for their family and for everyone to use them. I can't make another person choose. And that's an important principle in mediation. You don't get to make another person choose. You shouldn't be coercive or manipulative. You should be honest, open, descriptive, but not too chatty, and make sure that you give them the solutions that they need. So when someone is trying to coerce another person, they're trying to use me as a middle person, and especially because I'm the one who teaches the self-government skills to help the family, then what I do instead is I seek to understand that other person that they're trying to coerce. And sometimes I think, to the surprise of the person who set up the call, I start exposing, possibly through questions, some of the problems that that person who made the call actually has in the relationship and why the other person may not trust or feel frustrated. If we can get down to those feelings of where's the trust, where's the understanding, and why might we not be feeling that way, then make a plan for how to communicate going forward, then we can actually solve our problem. So when I teach parents how to communicate with their children who disagree, we use a skill called disagreeing appropriately. This skill works for everyone. It works for the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. It works for everybody, no matter the age. So when my children are not doing something that I have told them they need to do, I do a correction with a disagree appropriately mindset. When they need to tell me something that they think I need to know, they disagree appropriately with me. And me and my husband, we disagree appropriately with each other too. One of the key components of disagreeing appropriately is seeking to understand the other person and really caring about the other person before you ever share your point of view. Many people don't do that, even though they're trying to be calm when they're telling their points of view. So keep that in mind as well. I wanted to share with you a principle that I call the expectation trap. So I have a full-length video on this channel called The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success. That class will help you probably recognize why you keep ending up in troubles with this relationship and how you can end up solving some of those things that might be behind the scenes causing some of that conflict for you. So go to that next video, The Expectation Trap versus the Cycle for Success. I'll see you there.